Son of a... Welcome to this issue of Mad Murphy, where I take a few topics that are pissing me off and simply rant about them. I'm in no way an expert on any of these topics. These are simply my opinions based off of what I've seen, heard, and read. And if anything I have angers you, just get the fuck over it. If you wish to make a counterpoint on any of these topics, please feel free to email me with the WHP contact form at wellhey.com/contact, or simply add a comment to this video. I will not and absolutely refuse to address any idiot who wants to start a screaming match with me by starting off, including, or ending with insults. These are just my opinions, just as you are entitled to yours. So if you want my respect and have a mature debate, you may want to start off with some respect as well. You ready? Let's dive in. There is so much wrong that I see with young parents today that I have no idea where to start ranting. Okay, here we go. Your kids do not need you to be their friend. They need you to be their parent. I've seen this time and time again, and it drives me fucking bananas every time I see it. You may have seen this too, so let me know if I'm on all off on this one. A family is in a public place. Could be the mom, the dad, maybe both, but it's always just one of the kids that's with them. The kid sees something that they want, throws a temper tantrum wanting the thing that they want, and the parents simply buckle and cater to the wants of the child, fearing that the kid will not like them. So they buy the thing that the kid wants, and 10 minutes later, the kid pulls the same shit somewhere else. Lather, rinse, repeat. This just might be my medication talking, but what fucking chance does a kid have when you do that? What life lesson are you teaching them? That if they bitch and moan long enough, you can get anything you want? Are you fucking kidding me? You're raising demons, you idiots! These kids are gonna grow up to think that they can get everything they want. Everything! And you know for a fucking fact that's not true. Not even close to being true. So they grow up with a general hatred for life and an entitlement that they're owed everything. And then I have to deal with these little pricks because when they come into work every day, don't want to do the job I hired them for, but they still want a fucking paycheck because, well, I got the job, that should be enough. Oh, you actually want me to work? Ew, that's for other people to do, not me. Harley, get me my hammer. It boggles my mind that these parents are simply living for the moment and not realizing that their lack of parenting will seriously affect these kids in the long run. Cater to your child's every whim today, raise Hitler for tomorrow. I may be exaggerating, but it's really not that far from the truth. You're going to have kids that don't appreciate anything in life, expect that everyone just gives them everything, and eventually they'll learn that everything you taught them was a lie, and they'll learn to hate and resent you for the rest of your life. And you have the fucking balls to say, what happened to you? You used to be so sweet and nice. Are you serious? How could people be that oblivious to the fact that your actions today have results tomorrow? They don't, which is why they should have been sterilized a long time ago. Let me explain this. Believe it or not, Keanu Reeves had a very influential part of my parenting. Back in 1989, there was a movie, Parenthood, and he played this kind of flaky drag racer that knocked up one of the main character's daughters. And after talking to this same character's son about the hard time he's having with life, he let it known that he had a piece of shit dad that abused him. After admitting this, the line he spoke stuck with me. You need a license to buy a dog, to drive a car, hell, you even need a license to catch a fish. But they'll let any butt-reaming asshole be a father. Now, I've made it well known with some of my friends that I think there needs to be some form of chip implanted into the man's penis and the woman's ovaries that does not allow them to produce potent sperm and eggs until the chip has been unlocked. To get the chip unlocked, you simply have to take a funded class that teaches you how to be a responsible parent. And it's not some wishy-washy class like home ec or anything where you just show up, take a test, and automatically pass on good merit. No, sir, this is parent boot camp. You check your smartphone at the door. You stay up for 24 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours so you can understand what real sleep deprivation is and still manage to cradle and rock a baby to sleep. You abandon all your wants and make sure the child stays alive. You learn the difference between want and need. You take psychological exams to determine whether or not you are actually mature enough and ready enough to be a parent. And when the time comes, if you do not pass with 100%, you have to do it all over again. Now don't look at your screen with all this disdain and hatred simply because I wish for this. Many of you listening to this are the product of half-ass parents. I've gotten countless emails stating the following. Murphy, you have given me better advice than my own father. Or, Murphy, I wish you were my dad. We'll get to how this kind of pisses me off too, but in a bit. My main focus right now is on parent boot camp. The reason for some of this is as follows. Why a chip? Well, I still think that people deserve the right to have sex. Go on, fuck each other's brains out, but nothing will come of it until you pass boot camp. This will also cut down on those oops babies that receive so much love from parents who simply did not want to become parents in the first place. It will reduce the number of rape babies, which, why we're still teaching girls don't get raped rather than teach the boys don't rape, will always be a fucking mystery to me. But my main concept is this. People who really want to be parents, really want to be parents, will take boot camp and they will make it work. They will do everything it takes to become a parent because they want to become a parent. And that's the main reason for all of this. Nothing in this world worth having should ever come easy. Now, I know there's going to be some form of backlash that I want to regulate people's natural right to have kids and procreate. Yes, that may be true, but have you seen the overpopulation lately? Have you seen the amount of people forced to live in poverty and less than ideal standards? Have you seen those families with 16 kids feeding off welfare and food stamps? You can't tell me that putting a cork or zipper on something wouldn't have helped in the long run. Enough of this political bullshit, though. I mentioned that people think that I'm a better dad than their own. Someone told me this recently, and I told him flat out, fuck off. That is not fair. It's not fair to me, and it's not fair to your actual dad. Why? Because we're all people. We're all human beings. We all have faults, stigmas, personal issues, and we do the best we can with the tools we've been given. Now, if you had deadbeat parents, that's another thing entirely. I tell them this. When I was growing up, my dad was an alcoholic and sometimes would beat the piss out of me. We butted heads a lot, and that's just the way it was. We had a defining moment, a story that I may tell in the future, but it was a moment that I hope every child has. When you realize that your mom, your dad, or whomever raised you is just a human, not this superhero that we admired and adored growing up, but a simple human that has flaws and faults and wants and dreams and heroes of their own. And if you were raised correctly, it'll strengthen your relationship with your parents. You will realize that, damn, they didn't have much to work with, but I think they did a pretty good job. And you'll respect them more for persevering through the thick and thin of it all. That's a good parent. Here's another example. Now, I mentioned before that most parents I see today want their children to be their friends, and that's horrifying to see. And I told myself a long time ago that I am not going to do that. So Murphy Jr. comes along, and I immediately institute the 1, 2, 3 policy. My son is smart as a whip, and he knows what's right and what's wrong. 9 times out of 10, he'll choose the right thing, but there's that off chance that he'll just act like a total douchebag, so I'll have to start counting. 1, 2, and if I get to 3, he gets spanked. Now, I started that as soon as he started walking and talking. Anytime before that, you're just wasting your effort on a blob of flesh that is underdeveloped and has no sense of anything yet. Every time I get to 3, swat on the butt. Hard enough to sting a bit, but nothing where you'd see a handprint if he mooned you. Now, he knows, and I barely get to 2 anymore. There have been tears and tantrums and fights and shouting matches, but the main thing is, I am not raising a child. I am raising the adult he will become in the future. I want him to know now what is right and what is wrong. I want him to know now that it's not always going to be about him. I want him to know now that he's not going to get everything he wants, but he will get as much as he needs. We have fun, we play, we wrestle, watch TV, play games, we learn, we play sports, and I also scold him when he won't go down for a nap or go to bed. We'll have a chat when he gets a bad report from daycare, where he punched a friend or he actually told the teacher, "What the fuck?" That actually happened, by the way. Then one day, he simply came up to me and my wife and gave us both hugs. None of this was prompted, by the way, just one of the many random things that he does. And after the hugging session, he simply said, "You guys are my best friends." We have accomplished what all those pansy parents wish for on a daily basis in 3 short years. We teach, we learn, we scold, we punish, we laugh, we cry, we dance, we make cookies for Mommy's birthday, we make posters for Father's Day, and bam! Best friends. We didn't ask to be his best friends, we earned it. If you put forth some effort, and you put your personal life aside and raise your child with the mindset that you are preparing them to be able to survive without you one day, then that's how you succeed as a parent. And one day, after they've moved out of the house and married with kids on their own, they might just come back to you with questions. How did you handle it when this happened? Or is it normal if this occurs? And they will respect what you have to say because they know that you did a good job. Now, if you've stuck around this long, I want to thank you for letting me air out my grievances. And believe me, I got lots of them, so I'll just close out with the usual. It doesn't matter what your religion is. I think that we can all believe that treat others as you wish to be treated is a pretty decent rule to live by. So why don't we all just stop the fighting and just treat others the way we want to be treated? You can never have too much of a good thing. Unless it's beer, then drink responsibly. I look at all of my friends and fans as younger brothers and sisters. I'm not yelling simply to yell. I just don't want you to make the same mistakes I have. So if I go off on you individually, it's because I see that you're about to hit that point where you're going to turn into me. And we can't have more Murphys. The world can barely tolerate one. If you've missed any of this Mad Murphy issue, the transcript will be posted on WellHey.com, so stop on by and enjoy the insanity. If you have a suggestion or topic you'd like to hear my opinion about, you can let me know in the comments or at wellhey.com/contact. As always, you can catch me and say hi on Facebook, Twitter, or Tumblr, and of course YouTube. This is Murphy 1976 of WellHey Productions, where we bring you colorful insanity to your drab, uneventful lives.